Yeah, we've camouflaged this set for a year and a half. You saw Souvenir on this set. You saw the Christmas, Riverside Family Christmas on this set. And you have now seen the Marvelous Wanderettes on this set. And now Grumpy Old Men on this set. And you wouldn't know, when you see the full Bright Star set, you're going to say, wait a minute, that couldn't be the same set, because a lot of it right now is covered with blacks and the wings. So so the portals with all the lattice work on it.
And this was ready to go before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, you know, and I how do I say this? I don't normally like to pat myself on the back, but I will in this instance. I think one of the smartest things I ever did was let's keep going, even when we knew that this pandemic was going to get in our way. I insisted that we try to go into tech. And we actually did a designer run that we filmed that is now going to be our friend while we get this show up. And we got this entire set practically put in, and having something already in and sort of the labor paid for and the set paid for to be built has been really terrific for us, because we've had something to work off for, like I said, Ted, the last year and a half.
And just financially, it's one less thing to stress about.
Because one of the things that's held other theaters back from being able to get on their feet is no income for a long period of time. How do you spend the money to build a set for something that you don't really know what are we going to get to do? We're going to try this, but maybe it won't go up, whereas we've got something that we had up there that we could make work for anything that we would want to try.
Keep talking about it and promote it.
Yeah. And now here it is. It's when we go into rehearsals next week, starting on the 23rd, we can get right up on that set and start working. So it's all worked out. Thank you, angels. Yeah, it's worked out good.
Carson, you've been on this stage through the whole thing.
Yes.
And what a ride it's been.
It has been. Yeah, with Souvenir, I think that was the first show we did back on this set. And I feel like each show we've kind of ramped it up a little bit. You know, with Souvenir it was just the two of us, with Andrea and myself, and that was great. And then with the Christmas show, we were able to have a few more people on stage, but we were still distanced and everybody was still kind of in their own little bubble. And then we were quiet for a couple months and dark for a couple months, but then we came back with Wanderettes, and then we could start doing some more choreo and felt a little bit more normal, and audiences were back and we weren't unmasked for a little bit. And then Grumpy Old Men, we just continue to kind of ramp it up. And I think Bright Star is going to be the perfect thing. I'm glad it ended up being when it is, because I think there was some discussion of having it be in the spring when we first came back, but I think being in the fall, allowing us to hopefully, knock on wood, be fully ready to go in terms of restrictions and guidelines and all of that. And the cast, I think we've got almost all of the entire cast that we had almost 16 months ago will be back. A couple of replacements, but they're excellent. And the band's going to be on stage. It's really great bluegrass music. So I think it just has the makings of a really great show. And Patrick's been saying in his pre-show speech kind of exactly what we need in this moment, kind of coming out of this COVID period.
Yeah. Now I remember you, Andrea, and Patrick and I did a video with you all sitting up on the stage. Wow. And it's still at that point, we sort of even stayed a little bit farther away.
Absolutely.
And we've come a long way.
We sure have. And I think it just feels so good. I think with Grumpy Old Men is what we're doing right now. It feels so nice to just be, even though things are not entirely back to normal, it feels almost like we're there. And having the audiences back and they're able to have their dinner and just enjoy the show. And I know one of the things that was happening during Souvenir was the audience was still in masks. And so being a performer on stage, you're not able to see the smiles, you're not able to hear the laughter as much. So that's been really, really rewarding to be able to hear that again and see that again. So just really excited for Bright Star, and I think it's gonna be a fantastic show.
And boy, Stephanie, to be on the stage again.
I'm so excited.
And to be a performer again with a full house.
Yeah, it feels so great. I've missed it so much. I know so many performers have missed being on that stage, being backstage, seeing the audience's faces and hearing the applause. It's just been wonderful.
And I guess just even the just leading up and whether it's
The
auditioning,
anticipation.
yeah, just the anticipation for just this show and to be able to start doing the things that you got into this business
Yes,
to
absolutely.
do.
It's my passion. I know all performers feel the same way, and I can't wait to start rehearsals for Bright Star. I was so excited to open it, and then of course, the pandemic hit, and yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm sure when you as you start doing the as you start not auditioning, but as you start getting ready, you'll remember
Yes.
what you went through, and
It'll
then
all come back.
everything then just
Yep,
stopped.
It'll all come back, and I have all my notes from my choreography, and we have videos for reference, and just can't wait to have that feeling again with the cast together and rehearsing for this show that we've been waiting so long for.
Are there times when you're on stage and you just catch yourself for a moment, just looking around and just thinking, I'm so happy
and then
to
I
be
pinch
back?
myself when I get backstage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Take so much for granted, and then when you get on stage, you're like, that's what I missed. That was it. Yeah.
Patrick, we've talked about this show for so long. This show now, Bright Star, becomes legendary for Riverside.
And I'll tell you something, it will become legendary for Riverside because this cast, this production team, I have to say, and they're sitting right here, but I don't care, I'll embarrass them. You know my passion for this business.
Yeah.
I've been in this business for many, many years, and in order to keep your passion going, it's the people that you work with, because you hope that you can get people to work with you that inspire you. And these two people inspire me. I think, if I had to go back 10, 20 years, I might have thought about directing and producing much earlier. And I think of, wow, wouldn't it be great to do a Broadway show with your two favorite people? And these would be my two favorite people. I mean, I would do anything with these two.
Feeling is mutual.
Yeah, and so when you talk about Bright Star and Legendary, I think what we have all experienced together, both from talking about it from the beginning to going through the original audition process to getting through a rehearsal process where we were on edge, to have to close the show down, get everybody back together. Some of the times that we've all corresponded are through Zoom meetings that we kept everybody together on. And I know myself, thinking in terms of the 23rd of August and then the 30th of August when Doug and Adrian join us, our two leads, it's going to be quite emotional. So all the things that we have gone through with this show, it's pretty special. And I think it's going to turn to be very special for those people out there, which to me is the epitome of everything.
I didn't ask you, Stephanie, but I'm sure this whole the pandemic and everything and what you do and having it taken away for a while and all, it had to have changed how you.
It did. I know so many of us have gone through a lot through this pandemic. I had a rough go of it. I actually had COVID. I was very sick, and I. The whole time I'm thinking, I just want to be on stage. I just want to choreograph something. I want to create. And so, I would be in my apartment and I would take dance classes on Zoom, or I would create, dances just for myself. But being back on stage, being back in the rehearsal process, it's just been exhilarating. I'm just so glad to be back to live theater.
And she's great in Grumpy Old Men, right, Ted?
You are a fantastic punky.
Thank you so
Come
much.
see Grumpy
Such
Old
a
Men
fun role.
just to see you. It should be Grumpy Old Men, and you need to featuring Punky.
I love playing that role. It is so fun. It just takes me out of all the stress of. I'm having such a good time. Thank you so much.
You're a great punky.
Thank you.
I can't imagine how this has changed you, Carson, too, because you've been right here also.
Absolutely, and I feel very fortunate to be able to have been in a position where I've been able to continue working for most of this time. But something that Stephanie was just saying reminded me, I think people sometimes take for granted in terms of not just us. Obviously we felt that we've taken sometimes for granted how fortunate we are to be able to do what we do. But I would also just encourage everybody right now, especially people that are coming to see the show, don't take this for granted, because, I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, as I said before, the trajectory of things that goes back in a good direction. But this is not just our passion, this is also our livelihood. And I think that's what sometimes people forget. When a theater shuts down, it's like, oh man, well, we can't go see the show on Friday night. But for all of us, it's how we make our living.
Yeah.
And so I think just the more people can continue to just be smart, be diligent, when they're coming into the theater, hopefully they're vaccinated. If they're not, hopefully they're definitely wearing their masks. Just do everything that they can to allow us to continue to keep making a living, but also bringing great shows and spreading all of this great joy that we have so much need right now.